everyone, you're watching our big poll of poll coverage here on NDTV. I'm Maria Shakil. My colleague Vedant is right there with all the numbers. Of course, that is the projection that is coming in. Let's put a big caveat now, Vedant. There are a number of pollsters who are yet to release their numbers, but Dainik Bhaskar, Dhruv Research, People's Pulse, Republic, Bharat Matriz are all giving Haryana to the Congress party. Dainik Bhaskar, People's Pulse, these are the two agencies which have released numbers for Jammu and Kashmir. They are giving Jammu and Kashmir convincingly to the Congress-NC alliance. Vedant, a quick wrap of how the pollsters are suggesting. What are they saying?
Absolutely, Mario. So let's look at the big numbers, starting with Dainik Bhaskar. Of course, if you look at all the pollsters so far, they have given a 40 to 52 range, most of them to the Congress. A decisive lead there, way beyond the majority mark to the Congress. For the BJP, 15 to 29 is what Dainik Bhaskar says. Dhruv Research says 22 to 32. And this pollster is also giving the maximum number of seats to the Congress, 50 to 64. As far as People's Pulse is concerned, a similar range there, 20 to 32 for the BJP, 49 to 61 for the Congress, and Republic Bharat is giving 80 to 24. The lowest number of seats perhaps in the pollsters so far to the BJP, and 55 to 62 to the Congress. Of course, as we're discussing the regional players, is it end of road for INLD and JJP? Well, for the JJP, going it alone this time, not an alliance with the BJP, it's mostly zero in 3 of the 4 pollsters. So the JJP is not opening its account according to 3 of the pollsters. For the INLD plus, Republic Bharat is giving 3 to 6 as far as Haryana is concerned. So only pollsters are giving some number of seats there to INLD. But let's take a look at that graphic as to how pollsters in the past have gotten it wrong.
One, actually, yes. Vedant, because we always put this caveat. These are exit polls, not the actual results. The results will be on October 8th. So we'll be waiting for that. But these are the numbers which show direction of how the people in these states have voted. But yes, the pollsters have got it wrong several times.
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, if we can have that graphic up now on how the pollsters in the past also have gotten it wrong. In fact, if you look at Haryana in 2019, what the poll of polls seem to have suggested was that the Congress is getting 15 seats and the BJP 65, but it was a much tighter contest, both in terms of seats and vote shares. The actual result was 40 for the BJP, 31 for the Congress. And if you look at the 2024 Lok Sabha polls as well, some of the pollsters for Haryana had suggested a much closer contest, though it wasn't as far as the BJP and the Congress is concerned. Of course, Maria, as you were saying, a lot of health warnings there. Pollsters have gotten it wrong. Of course, a more recent example is what happened in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, where even the pollsters couldn't predict the extent of the BJP majority as far as those 2 states were concerned.
Okay, I'm going to go straight to Srinagar. And Akhilesh ji, my colleague, is joining me here in the studio. We have Nirja Chaudhary as well. Akhilesh ji, a quick word first on the numbers that we are seeing with regards to Haryana. BJP would be worried?
Of course, it will be worried because it is there in power for the past 10 years now. And BJP was facing anti-incumbency, there's no doubt about it. Because we have seen that how the way the central leadership of the BJP responded as far as the campaign in Haryana is concerned. Because Prime Minister Narendra Modi had only 4 rallies in Haryana. If you include Amit Shah's rallies also, then total 14 rallies were done by them. There was no road show by either of them. It also shows that how BJP was very careful not to have the central leadership projected as a face in the assembly leadership, because they knew somewhere that something was missing. Because the indication was there in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections where the BJP lost 5 seats. So BJP was, of course, aware that it could face major anti-incumbency there. And of course, the exit polls are suggesting that.
So exit polls suggesting what was being seen, Nirja Chaudhary, by reporters on ground. Whoever went in both these, one union territory and the other state, they saw this happening. It's also a reflection or carrying forward, many would say, of how the Lok Sabha results in these states have been.
That's right. It is in line with that. Yes, number 1. Number 2, you're right. The reporters who went there, it was not only the political parties privately telling you, whether it was the BJP telling you privately, or the regional parties telling you privately, or the Congress telling you privately, or that this was the way the wind was blowing. But also, I believe the BJP had done its internal surveys, and they too indicated numbers of this kind. So all 3, yes, it seems this time the exit polls seem to be on the right track, at least indicating which way the wind is blowing.
So we'll wait for 8th still to see whether how have the reporters, various analysts like you, Nirja, and also the pollsters have fared. Going straight to Srinagar, where Nazir, my colleague, is joining us live. Nazir, you have a special guest. Over to you, Nazir. How are these numbers being looked at by the Member of Parliament there with you?
Well, Maria, thank you very much. And these are just, as we know, exit polls, not the actual results. And we'll wait for the 8th. But clearly, it creates a lot of interest when there are exit polls. And people have been speculating in Jammu and Kashmir since the elections were over. But we had to wait here for several days because of the Haryana polls today. And I'm joined by Aga Ruhullah, National Conference leader and MP from Srinagar. You may have heard some indications. All the exit polls have not come out so far, but those who are coming are indicating National Conference Congress is ahead. But clearly not everybody is saying it's absolute majority.
Well, it's a good sign, and I think it's in line with what I felt on ground, because I campaigned through the length and breadth of the valley. But it's exit poll after all. We would wait for the actual poll actual results to come out. But at the moment, it's I would want to say this much, that it is a sign which is in line with what I felt on ground, the sentiment that was visible, that the connect that the people had with the narrative of National Conference and with the party of National Conference, the understanding of National Conference to connect with the people on the sentimental level and on the realistic level as well, made an atmosphere where one could safely say that National Conference has a clear advantage, and that's reflecting in the exit polls.
Okay. Since 2002 Assembly elections, no party actually in Jammu and Kashmir has got more than 28 seats. In 2002 Assembly election, NC was the single largest party with 28 seats. PDP was 16 seats, but they formed the government that time with the Congress. In 2008, National Conference won 28 seats and formed the government with Congress. And 2014, it was PDP which won 28 seats and BJP got 25 seats. And it is expected that this time, that since 1996 election, National Conference may win, if exit polls are any indication, or the ground realities, may win highest number of seats. Ruhullah Sahab, are you surpassing your own expectations, or you are expecting that you could do better?
I would be surprised if we do not do better than 2002, and I would be surprised if National Conference falls short of what we expect to be a better result than, as you indicated, than the elections of 2002. And at this moment, it would be surprising also because this election was fought on the grounds which National Conference should and must have, and I think have commanded on the ground in terms of narrative, in terms of political language, in terms of actual expression of what needs to be expressed, and in terms of electorally creating that space for that dissent and that narrative that the people of Jammu and Kashmir felt for a long time was not allowed. Last two elections, including the parliament election that I contested, gave us an opportunity, one, to connect with the people, and then give a language to that sentiment which people wanted to express, the dissent that they wanted to express, both narrative-wise and in its roots. National Conference is the closest to the sentiment, to the actual, the atmosphere, the political atmosphere that we have. So National Conference should command the results in these elections.
Ruhullah Sahab, in these elections, 40% candidates were independents, and there was allegations from your party and other regional parties that it is an attempt to fragment the mandate votes. But that doesn't appear to be happening actually if we see the exit polls and the signs of on the ground we saw.
If these exit polls do stand, then we should be very thankful to the people of Jammu and Kashmir that they understood that
Nazir,
the forces...
please just ask Rolla to just hold on to his thoughts, because we are going to go straight to Rohtak, where Bhupinder Hooda is joining us on this special broadcast, and he is with Tanushka. Tanushka, over to you, and we'll be also asking some questions. But first, tell Mr. Hooda that the pollsters are suggesting that he is going to be the king of Haryana very soon.
Will he be? But that's the
Yes.
question
The
for the
numbers
Congress
hold.
party.
So I have right here with me former Chief Minister Bhupinder Singh Hooda. Sir, the exit polls are suggesting at this point that the seat share that Congress would be getting is of 55 to 62. What do you have to say to that?
This is what I am telling you, exit poll are telling now. But in the morning you asked me the question, I told you that Congress is going to form government with comfortable majority and it will form the government.
So the whole day that you roamed around today, went to these poll booths, what did you feel? How do you look back at today? The final day.
The response which we are getting from everywhere I got the report, there's wave in favor of Congress.
And how are you, like looking forward to this now? Like the seat share at this point and the, chief ministerial phase?
Sheet sharing? Sheet sharing. There's only one
Tanushka,
alliance
yeah.
partner.
Tanushka, just tell Mr. Hooda
Maybe,
that it's Ankit and me in the
don't,
studio, and
number.
we have certain
Maybe-
questions for
maybe,
him as well.
60 plus something.
For 10 years,
1, 2 minus, that's all. But comfortable majority.
for 10 years, it was
Right.
the
Yes,
BJP
Maria.
government
Please
in
continue.
the
I'm
state,
not done yet.
And now it
I'm
is
not
the
done yet.
Congress which is coming to power. As per these exit polls, is he hopeful for a bigger number? Because the range that is being suggested by the pollsters is from 46 to even 60.
Are you hopeful for a bigger number? Because it's been 10 years since the Congress has not, been in power here and BJP has been in 2 consecutive terms. Are you hopeful for a bigger number?
Yes. Because BJP has proved to be non-performing government and most corrupt government. This government, BJP and JJP government. And the law and order situation is worse. Even our sports person, Pahalwan, jo hai, wrestlers, they have been not been spared.
Right.
So this is the question.
Huda Saab, there is a list going on in social media. A lot of your
Yes.
Congress supporters are talking about they have already formed the cabinet and your day of swearing. So is Mr. Hooda ready for his day of swearing, or is there still suspense even if the Congress party wins, sir?
Are you ready for, the swearing in? A lot of, social media chat has been going on about the cabinet that will be formed. So are you ready for the swearing in? What can one look forward to for the swearing in?
On 8th result would be coming, MLAs would be elected, their opinion will be taken, then High Command will decide who will head the government. Then this is hypothetical questions you are asking me.
Okay.
I'll
Tanushka, there
give
is a
you
question
answer
that is
that
coming
day
in from Neerja ma'am.
Okay.
Neerja ma'am से बोली
One
एक
sec.
सवाल पूछना चाह रही हैं
Yes,
Hooda साहब
yes,
से।
one last question.
Mr. Hooda, it seems pretty well clear now that the Congress is going to form the government. Kumari Shelja has also thrown her hat in the ring for chief ministership. What is your response to that?
So, sir, Kumari Shelja has also, thrown her hat into the ring for the chief ministerial phase. What is your response to that?
This is democracy. Everybody has got right to win, and everybody should aspire. Otherwise, you can also aspire. Who says no to you? But MLAs would decide, High Command would decide. Okay?
Thank you so much. That was Bhupinder Singh Hooda speaking exclusively to NDTV. Back to studio.
You know what I
Tanushka,
like?
that was phenomenal.
What I like about what Mr. Hooda said today, and remember when 2024 exit polls came and most exit polls were giving a bigger number to the BJP, all Congress leaders were saying this is all hypothetical, things will change. Today he's saying only the question of chief ministership is hypothetical, otherwise he's accepted the exit polls and he's coming into power in Haryana.
I'll ask you about that question, Akhilesh. The Hooda factor in Haryana politics. Mr. Khattar tried to make it about, or the absence of Zameen ka neta for the BJP. Do you think that is the big crisis for the BJP in Haryana?
That was the major crisis. That's why BJP had to change the chief minister. Manohar Khattar was called to Delhi. This was precisely the reason, because BJP knew it very well that the Jat factor is playing on the ground. And Mr. Hooda played it very carefully, very cleverly, because when the ticket distribution came, he was dominating the entire Congress list. He got, in fact, 72 of his supporters as the candidate of the Congress party. And that was the confidence which was Mr. Hooda showing as far as the Congress ticket and strategy was concerned in Haryana. And that is the reason why BJP is also on the defensive. Because in the past 10 years, we have seen that how the BJP was downplaying the Jat factor in Haryana and was hoping that the non-Jat will be consolidating in its favor. But it did not seem to be happening this time, because anti-incumbency, it seems, has prevailed.
Okay, Nazir
yeah.
Basoodi is with, it continues to be with us. Nazir, thank you for holding on and thank you for all the patience for your guest as well. You can please continue with the conversation and then I bring in other guests.
Well, I should thank Aga Ruhullah Sah for his patience waiting here till the time we could interview Mr. Huda. Aga sir, we were talking about, this is a first time when it is expected that National Congress or any party would cross 30 seats. And I was saying, is it surpassing your own expectations? And also the attempts which were alleging over fragmentation that have not succeeded.
I answered the first part. I was answering the second part, and I said we should be thankful to the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and Kashmir in particular. They, defeated the designs of BJP. BJP had a clear design and a plan to divide votes in Kashmir so that they could take advantage, and with that advantage, they would repeat 2014 in order to form the government. If the people have understood the designs, the ill designs of BJP, because BJP had multiple allies and proxies, those who BJP wanted to inflict that divide electorally in Kashmir. But people have understood the designs and the approach of BJP, and as I said, if this stands, then we should be thankful to the wisdom of people of Kashmir in particular.
So you were talking about BJP's mechanism, but over the last few days there were a lot of grapevine, or if there could be a NC-BJP alliance, post-poll alliance, and National Conference had to issue a statement, no, these are just rumors and they rubbish those rumors. Is there any possibility?
That is kind of a disgrace in defeat. They don't take defeat gracefully, and we have said it multiple times. I have said it during the campaigning, and I stand by those words. National Conference, in no terms, categorically, I'm going to repeat this. National Conference is not going to ally with BJP. National Conference will reject any idea of allying with BJP for government or otherwise. We do not see ourselves being in alliance with BJP. So the people of Jammu and Kashmir should believe us, and will not break that trust, and they should take this word. Will not break that trust that they have shown, expectedly shown in us, will not, betray the people of Kashmir.
Thank you so much. So, Aga Ruhullah clearly saying no question of any alliance with the BJP. They will go this India alliance, and they are expecting that they can form the government, and that is the indication this exit poll is showing. But one important thing is, it appears Congress may not have been done well as it was expected, and the strike rate of NC as far as these exit polls are concerned appears to be very, very high. As on the other side, Congress is not so much encouraging as far as
also
the number of seats
Congress,
they have contested.
Nazir was supposed to pull its weight, especially in the Jammu region, where the Congress party has not been able to do, at least come as the principal challenger to the BJP in the Jammu region, where the Congress has not been able to strike as much. But thank you for that conversation. Let me very quickly introduce our guests. A lot of them have been waiting very, very patiently. Kartikeya Batra, Dr. Kartikeya Batra is a political researcher. I saw, Kartikeya, a lot of your posts roaming around Haryana. We'll come to that in a bit. Hemant Attri, senior journalist, specialist in Haryana, is also with us. We also have Mr. Mohit Ban, PDP spokesperson. Siddharth Yadav, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, is also joining us. Dr. Sunny Singh Ahluwalia, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, with us as well. But just 2 more minutes of your indulgence. Let me very quickly go across at this moment to Mr. Zoeb Mir. He's PDP candidate from the Lal Chowk constituency in Srinagar. In fact, sir, thank you so much for speaking to us. I just want your first reaction on these numbers. At this moment, it seems 10 years, a lot has changed in Kashmir. PDP, which was the party number 1 last time when the assembly elections took place, at this moment is looking at a single digit. The battle for survival or the battle for relevance for PDP continues, sir, at least if these numbers hold true on October 8th.
Thank you so much. There are 2 fundamental things that I want to say. One is that any government that will be so formulated, PDP will be indispensable for formulating that government if a secular government is formulated. Number 2, I am not, but however, we are quite skeptical about the functioning of the government so formulated, because the stage is set in such a manner by the BJP. If a secular government is formulated, then the chief minister will always go with the begging bowl to the LG, and LG will do the same thing what has been done in Delhi. Something like the Delhi style of government will be formulated here. So if at all BJP will not get his way in formulating the government, and a secular government is formulated, to which I believe that PDP is going to be a quite indispensable part, so that government will not function for a very long time. And however,
because,
as
what
far as
happens
those
to the
numbers,
statehood when it comes there, what powers, because at this moment, these are the rules of the game that every political party went into this election with. May I then ask you, like you said, that you will, if there is a need, you will support a secular government. Does that mean that the PDP is not going to repeat the mistake it made in the last election of 2014? You are open to supporting NC Congress alliance if there is a need?
of course, if a secular government is formulated, PDP is going to support, and rather, I believe that it's going to be indispensable to any secular government so formulated. However, as I said, the caveat is that I don't see a very great functioning of the government so formulated because the stage is set in such a manner. The LG has unbridled powers. Even the chief secretary has unbridled powers. He can always dismiss the voice of the people and the development thing.
Because we have the third set of numbers come in for Jammu and Kashmir. This is India Today See Voter, which is suggesting that Congress NC is in the range of 40 to 48. The PDP could be between 6 to 12. And the BJP is between 27 to 32. So unlike Dainik Bhaskar, which has given not even a double digit for you all, India Today See Voter is suggesting that you could get a double digit. And of course, you know, I met you in Srinagar. There was a lot of enthusiasm around your campaign, Zuhaib. One thing is clear, there was, you know, the aspiration of young Jammu and Kashmiri, young people from Valley was at play in this election. And you at 32, 33 are perhaps epitomizing that aspiration.
Yes, in fact, as we discussed that time also, like 70% of the population is below the age of 35. And precisely why they should get their representatives in that age group as well. However, the fundamental issue that we have here is that, of course, youngsters are quite aspirational, but youngsters have been denied democracy for a very long time. A country like India, which says that democracy is the best solution for any civilization to work forward and move forward, that is something that was denied for a very long time here. And that is something that this trust deficit that has been created is now the responsibility of the government so formulated, and even Delhi, that this trust deficit has to be bridged, because multiple times this trust with the youngsters of Jammu and Kashmir have been breached.
So thank you so much. Fascinating to talk to you. I'm sure there will be much more to discuss the day of the results. Thank you and all the best, because you will also be, in fact, in the contention when the results start coming in on your constituency. But let me very quickly go across to Kartikeya Batra. Dr. Kartikeya Batra, let me start by asking you, when we're just staying with the numbers of Jammu and Kashmir at this moment, the latest numbers, as Maria was suggesting, the India Today See Voter poll which has come in, very interesting. Two things it tells you. A, it tells you that there is a very different election that was played in Jammu, and that is a very different election that played out in the Valley as expected. The Congress and the NC alliance 40 to 48. If this alliance stays at its lower limit, then more important significant number is of the others. The 6 to 11 others that we are talking about will play a very, very important role in who forms the government in Jammu and Kashmir.
Ankit, is that the more important number, or is the PDP's number the more important number then?
Both are together. Both are together.
No, I think given that PDP was a part of the Gupkar alliance, was a part of the India alliance, their affinity towards joining an India alliance government headed by the NC might be stronger. So I think if it's at the lower end, 40, my sense has always been, I don't think PDP will have too much of a problem in joining hands with the Congress NC, which is why the BJP's best bet was that whatever the PDP is garnering should have gone to the others. because it is easier to manage the others probably vis-a-vis the PDP. So I think that if it's at the lower end, 40, then I think PDP is the first option. And then amongst the others, not everybody is married to the idea of, not being with the Congress presence.
Is there
The
where
other thing is,
the BJP would sense an opportunity? Because like Karthik is saying, the importance then becomes of what numbers does the PDP get? And like I asked the PDP candidate there as well, it's not that PDP has been averse doing business with the Bharatiya Janata Party. These others, many of them may, many would say could go with the Bharatiya Janata Party. So is there still, with these numbers, an outside chance for the BJP to try and spring a surprise in Jammu and Kashmir?
Some number calculation.
The BJP could become a factor if it emerges as the single largest party. Insiders in the BJP say if we emerge as a single largest party, we will definitely form the government. That's the word, those are the words they use. But if they don't, then they realize it's going to be unlikely, because the independence of the PDP in the given situation, PDP has lost a lot of ground because of its association with the BJP.
That's true.
And that is the mood in the valley. So I think, and Mehbooba Mufti said to me, this is about a week ago, and would have told you and others also, if the NC and Congress fall short and they need us, we will give our help to them. Of course, there'll be conditions, A, B, C, D, we will insist on, but yes, we will. Exactly what the PDP person was saying.
What do you think is the number which will make the BJP make that effort? It's just about being the single largest party. If they are in that range, still, do you think, if just look at the number, 20 to 25, 27 to 32, if they cross 30, do you think that is when that effort will
I think
begin?
more like 35, and they were not very confident. They had at one time hoped that they'll get 34, 35, but then people said messed up in 4 or 5 constituencies. So max, what they were looking at was around 28, maybe going up to 30, but that also is optimistic.
There is a new update which has come for Haryana. The PMark poll has also come in, which suggests that 27 to 35 seats for the BJP and 51 to 61. At least the direction of all these polls is absolutely clear, that the Congress is forming the next government in Haryana. They have the majority as far as the numbers are concerned. But interestingly, Maria Akhileji, the BJP is not doing as badly as many would have, suggested or expected going into this election. Just take a look at the last, when the Hooda government was thrown out of the power, the Congress came down to 19, and primarily one of the biggest reason for that also was at that point of time, Chautala party was still relevant. But this time it seems it's a bipolar contest where the BJP, by all standards, is not doing as badly, though the Congress party is in a clear lead.
So it's holding on to its own. It would have wanted
BJP,
to be in above 40.
If these exit poll trends come as the results, the BJP has to thank parties like Aam Aadmi Party, INLD, and BSP, JJP, because they are the one BJP was relying upon for dividing the anti-BJP votes. So if it comes true, then BJP will be saying thank you to them.
But it will be interesting, Mr. Atri, if I may bring you in at this moment, sir. Is that sense there that that in certain, possibly the BJP is not doing as badly, because many numbers take them up to 32 as well. If you take the mean, everybody is putting them around 25. So that is not, after 10 years of being in power, it's not a very bad number where the Congress is not, the Congress is barely touching 60 in a few of these polls. So is it thanks to the division of the votes, primarily to INLD, BSP Alliance, JJP and Azad Party Alliance?
No, Ankitji, it's other way around. See, JJP, Aam Aadmi Party and INLD, they are not able to get anything which they were expecting, or the BJP was expecting for that matter. That is point number one. Number two, whatever figures have been given, they are going to change a lot, since the final polling figures are yet to come. As far as what I am able to get out of all this is a straight fight between Congress and BJP.
True.
And as per my experience or whatever I have seen in the past, as for these polling trends, poll of polls, and opinion polls also, recently we have a great study of what they are doing and how they are doing. But I personally feel, Ankitji, is that Congress party is going to get somewhere between 58 to 65 seats in this election, number one. Number two, BJP is not going to get more than 20-22 seats for the very simple reason. There is a science behind it. You have seen all the polling figures which were available till 5 in the evening. And what was there? In all the urban areas, which is the strongest belt for BJP in Haryana, particularly Faridabad, Gurgaon, Panipat, Karnal, big cities where they used to have their own hold, Ambala also. There they are having a very less number of polling. And in the rural areas, if you see, the polling has gone 72, 74%, which is the biggest worry going not only for the BJP, but for Delhi also. The kind of, anti-BJP, anti-incumbency wave which is going on in Haryana, it will be finalized only once the final numbers are coming.
Okay.
And I hope that this will be somewhere around 70% of the polling.
like I heard on the ground, a lot of people were saying that ये विदाई का चुनाव है, लाने से ज़्यादा जो जोश है लोगों में वो विदा करने का.
ये तो विदाई का चुनाव अगर ये हो गया जो अंकित बोल रहे हैं सिद्धार्थ यादव.
Maharaj ji, will you give me 1 minute?
हाँ, बोलिए मंजी.
Haryana people always, they never vote for you. They basically fix me to get you in. That's how it is. Basically, there is no positive vote in Haryana traditionally. Basically, they keep on fixing the people who are in power and they get the other person from the side and get them full majority. They never give this kind of hung assemblies or person.
These are the first set of elections after the Lok Sabha polls.
Yeah.
And that is certainly very, very important and significant. Of course, the next set of elections will be Maharashtra and, Jharkhand. For the BJP, if these numbers hold and actually exit polls convert into real results or directionally they are suggesting, that's not good news for the party.
Thank you, Maria, for having me on your show. I think we'll have to wait till the 8th to finalize what the final numbers have to come out. We did a very good performance in fighting the election in Haryana. The people of Haryana elected us for 2 consecutive terms. We delivered a very good governance model in Haryana. People liked it. People gave us all the support. We had a few questions to answer. The 10 years of rule, definitely some questions do pop up. We answered all such questions. And the people clearly compared the 2 regimes, one regime of the Hooda government and one regime of the BJP. And they were able to decipher that it was the BJP that has given a very clean, without bhrashtachar, without kharchi parchi model of governance. And that is what the people of Haryana like. When it comes down to numbers, I think I'll again say that we'll have to wait till the 8th. Because we have seen in the past a lot of exit polls, especially in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, a lot of states where the exit polls and all senior journalists and all people and all analysts who analyze the elections have been proven wrong by the mandate of the people. And I think that is going to be the case in Haryana as well. We are going to form a government with absolute majority.
And we saw a recent sample in the Lok Sabha elections as well. So like we say, take these exit polls with a caution, ladies and gentlemen. Don't put too much hopes with that. The real result is going to be on October 8th. But very quickly, let me go across at this moment to Mr. Pradeep Narwal, Congress candidate from Bhiwani Khera constituency in Haryana. I had gone to his constituency as well. Pradeep, thank you for speaking to us. You were being seen as one candidate very close to the Gandhi family, somebody who has, a lot of people had pinned a lot of hopes from. At this moment, elections are over, voting is done, campaign, no need to campaign. What's your sense after these numbers that you are seeing? Is there a sigh of relief? Are you expecting among these numbers, which are ranging from 48 to 61, your constituency is also going to be one of the winning constituencies?
Actually, while in the waiting room, I was looking at your numbers. So, see, these are all projected numbers, but I believe we are forming government in Haryana. I'm just outside a polling station. We are just done with the polling, just like 30, 40 minutes back. So, we are forming the government in Haryana, and I'm very hopeful that we'll get a 2/3 majority. When it comes to the BJP and other parties, see, the regional party will be decimated in these elections. It will be Congress which will get the majority on its own. So I'm very hopeful for the performance and will form the government after 2 or 3 days.
We have put out NDTV poll of polls here, Pradeep, which is suggesting that the average is around 55 if these exit poll numbers actually hold. So one thing is becoming clear, that there is a significant gain for the Congress. In a bipolar contest, of course, if the Congress were to manage these numbers, it would mean that it's a landslide for you. But what do you think would have worked? Do you think it's anti-incumbency, as Hemant Attri was saying that Haryana में लोग हराने के लिए वोट देते हैं, जिताने के लिए नहीं?
See, there are two things. First, before me, there is a panelist who was saying that they had a clean government. Let me just correct him. Just 1 year back, HPSC member, the Public Service Commission member, the secretary, his own memory was secretary. He was caught red-handed having 1 crore rupee bribe. Okay, secondly, हमारे हरियाणा में कहावत हिंदी में बोले तो कि हमारे हरियाणा में घमंडी का घमंड तोड़ते हैं. So definitely BJP government ruled with utmost arrogance. So people are rejecting them, and now after a decade rule, they are going out of power, and there will be drastic decline in their seats.
It becomes the default option, or people have high hopes of the Congress party. And with that, I just want to very quickly ask you one question. Your election is being seen as a prestige election for Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi. You are being seen as their candidate as far as this election is concerned. Does that put extra pressure on a young Pradeep Narwal to prove himself on the electoral battle?
No, see, every candidate who's fighting election in Haryana, all the 90 candidates are Gandhi family candidates. They are Congress candidates. All are supported by Rahulji, Priyankaji. And every worker of the party has right on Rahulji, whether it's Rahulji or Priyankaji. So Congress High Command belongs to everyone. It's not a special case of Pradeep Narwal that he is close to Gandhi family or the Congress Ala Command or High Command. Everyone close to the Ala Command. So we are getting 60 seats. All these seats belongs to the Congress High Command only.
Thank you, Pradeep. All the best to you.
In the end, Congress High Command decides everything in the party.
All the best to you. We are hoping that on October 8th, we'll again have a word with you to try and get a sense of where Haryana goes from here. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Very quickly, going across to my colleague, Gurpreet Singh China. Gurpreet China, our colleague, is joining us. Gurpreet, thank you. You've been very patient. Now, with the voting percentage must be, getting more clearer. What's the sense that you are getting as far as the vote percentage is concerned? Is it a normal Haryana election which will throw a 65 to 70% kind of a vote, or are you expecting something like a 2014 election where Haryana went a little further from its normal mean?
Well, first of all, we have seen a huge excitement among the voters. We have seen the final vote turnout will be officially they are going to declare. But as of now, we have seen as Mr. Hooda has already very politically, very smartly, he has given answer of all the questions. Party High Command will take a decision who will be the Chief Minister. Same thing we have seen on the various polling stations also. The people are very silent this time, but we have seen most of the people, they were talking about the unemployment, they were talking about inflation, they were talking about farmer issues also. And this time, the way we have seen, the lot of statements are coming this time, we have seen the people of Haryana, they had come forward and they were trying to contest the election of candidates. So from the Lok Sabha, we have seen this trend was observed by the Congress leader, that there was a competition between BJP as well as the Congress, and the other regional party are not able to make that type of strong base in the Lok Sabha election. So now it's very clear the people of Haryana, they don't want to waste their vote, they don't want to do any experiment, and this time they wanted to give either to the BJP or to the Congress, but they wanted to clear-cut mandate in Haryana. So as we have travelled a lot of constituency in Haryana, where Ladwa, from where the Chief Minister of Haryana, he has been contesting from there. We have seen the people, they say, we are looking forward for the development, we are looking forward for the problem solution, and they are also trying to opt for national political party. So that's why we have seen very smartly Bhupinder Singh Hooda is giving answers saying that the party high command will decide the chief ministerial candidate, but he has been working day and night to become the chief minister of Haryana. Back to studio.
One moment before I let you go, you have been speaking to the Hoodas regularly. For all that optics that he may be trying to put up, कि party high command decide करेगी, he must have got some hint from the party high command that he is the next man on the chair if they get the numbers.
Well, we have seen not only he has got a signal from the party high command. If we can see that all the seats and specifically for the candidates also, the party had put a whole weight behind Bhupinder Singh Hooda, and we all know around 70 to 75 candidates are from Hooda lobby. So that is clear-cut message from the party high command. We have seen when the differences had come between Kumari Shailja and Bhupinder Singh Hooda. Then after that, we have seen very smartly this type of answer was coming from Bhupinder Hooda, saying that Kumari Shailja is also aspirant and anybody can be aspirant from the party, but party high command is going to decide. But if we can see the political calculation within the Congress also, it seems Bhupinder Singh Hooda has already got a green signal from the party high command.
I think throughout this election, Mr. Hooda was hoping that this the majority for the Congress remains closer to 50, as close as it to 50. There is no doubt that Mr. Hooda will get that chair, and if it goes over 60, then there possibly could be some adventure that Rahul Gandhi and the Congress leadership might in fact infuse in Haryana. Like you were asking, I don't know about the party leadership giving any signal to Mr. Hooda, but Mr. Hooda, by quickly doing these interviews today on the exit poll, has given a signal to the party high command.
It's my vote. It's my vote completely. You wanted to...
Dr. Sunny Singh Ahluwalia is also with us, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Sir, thank you for being so patient. Let me ask you a straight question, sir. For the Aam Aadmi Party, till 6 months back, you were looking at putting up strong candidates across the state of Haryana. You have the government in Punjab, you have the government in Delhi. Despite two neighboring governments, at this moment, Aam Aadmi Party seems to be getting a 0 as far as the exit polls are concerned. Only one poll gives you, possibility of one seat, a fighting chance of one seat. Is this the biggest disappointment for Mr. Kejriwal after the Lok Sabha elections?
Thank you very much for giving me the time. Well, I'd like to tell you that Arvind Kejriwal is the leader who is known for transparency, who is known for good governance, education. So when you talk about Haryana, it is not by the that people are selecting the Congress. It is by default, as said by others also.
So, but that should be more worrying for you, isn't it? That the default option for the people is the Congress party and not the Aam Aadmi Party, which projects itself as a different model. Why I'm asking you that, sir? Just hold on. Why I'm asking that is because till few days, just 2 days before the nomination ended, the top leaders of your party were bargaining with the Congress party for 3 to 5 seats. People did not see you as a viable option because you were ready to play the smallest little brother with the Congress party in these elections.
No, what we were trying to do because of the India coalition, so it was our duty to have coalition with the Congress in Haryana as well. So we tried to have a coalition, though Haryana Congress also tried to do the same. But when they take the Aam Aadmi Party has a government in Punjab, has a government in Haryana, in Delhi, and looking at the neighboring state, the performance you can see of Aam Aadmi Party, the only party which comes up with the report card and says, if we have worked for the welfare of people, please vote for us. And if we haven't worked, don't vote for us. This was the line taken by the Arvind Kejriwal.
One thing is becoming clear, that Aam Aadmi Party isn't really relevant in the politics of Haryana. So that let me bring in Dr. Kartikeya Batra. Dr. Kartikeya Batra, the question is, INLD visibly out of Haryana politics if these numbers hold. JJP not really a factor. From, Dushyant Chautala becoming a deputy chief minister in 2019 to now, a huge fall for them if these numbers hold. We are saying it again and again. And one thing is becoming clear, that the Hoodas are the central pillar of politics of the state.
Well, Maria, the last part, I think I'll throw some caution to the wind there. And the reason why I say that is that, of course, this will be a victory that the Congress party will be credited for. And because Mr. Hooda and family are at the helm of the party, they will get the credit for. But this is something that I'll go back to 20 minutes back on the show when this was being discussed, that in a lot of places, this was an anti-BJP vote and a lot of places it was a pro-Congress vote. In the Hooda belt, Rohtak, Sonipat, Jhajjar, this was definitely a pro-Congress, pro-Hooda vote.
True.
But in large parts of the state, this was an anti-BJP vote, where the credit is due to Mr. Hooda and his family and the party, is that for the last 5 odd years, when the government in Haryana was making error after error, they kept the party intact. The party leadership, despite all the squabble and the fights, etc., you knew there was one strong leader And so when it came to finding an alternative, the voter thought that if we want to boot out the BJP, JJP is a non-starter. INLD may find some resurgence, but not enough to form the government. And all other parties probably are not in a position to form governments on their own. So let's go to the next viable option. And
Kartiki, does that
viable?
also mean that the Haryana is also now following the trend that we are seeing of the regional parties finding it very, very difficult with the resurgence or a bipolar contest between the national parties, BJP and the Congress? Remember, it was the INLD which gave the foothold to the BJP in Haryana, and today it's almost a reversal of that picture.
Ankit, let me give you 2-3 data points, and I think you'll be very fascinated by them. 2014, Congress plus BJP vote share was 54%. 2019, that swelled up to 65%. The state had moved from 3 polls to 2.5 polls. Why do I say 2.5? Because INLD disintegrated. JJP could pick up half its vote, but the rest of it got distributed. I think there is a very strong chance that this election will mark return to bipolarity, except that instead of what used to be INC and INLD in the pre-2014 era, will probably now become INC and BJP. Make no mistake that your independents and chota parties will have a stake. But that tripolarity that happened in 2014 and the 2.5 polarity that happened in 2019 will probably make for a cleaner bipolarity.
Hemant Attri,
yeah.
As someone who has been following the politics of the state so closely, if these numbers actually hold, which do you think will be closest to the results? Because you have been on the ground as well. So let me ask you that question, because there is Republic P-Mark, which is suggesting 51 to 61 as well, and Republic Bharat Matriz is suggesting 55 to 62. So all of them are giving in that range. Do you think it's going to be upwards of 55 for the Congress in Haryana?
Exactly, Mariaji. Exactly. See, Congress party is going to get somewhere between, 58 to 67 seats based on the number of votes polled today. Polling percentage is yet to come out. And in some areas, as I'm being told, in rural areas and a few booths in the cities also, voting queues are still there. People are still there in the queues. Final figure may come around, say, about 930 or something like that.
Okay.
And once that comes up and it crosses from 72%, then Congress can have 65 to 67 seats, which is their ever best in 2005, if you recollect.
Sir,
it's going to be phenomenal if that actually happens, because we are, just hold on to your thoughts, sir. We have Dr. Nirmal Singh, the chairman of the BJP's Manifesto Committee and a former Deputy Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, joining us. Dr. Nirmal Singh, thank you so much for joining us. We have Akhilesh ji also here in the studio. So Akhilesh ji, pitch in. Why don't you begin with the question?
निर्मल जी, जो अभी तक ट्रेंड दिख रहे हैं, the trends are suggesting that the Congress NC alliance is leading as per the exit poll trend and prediction is concerned. What will BJP's strategy if it comes to that situation?
I'll suggest that to wait for the results. We are sure that we are going to cross 35, and looking at the independents and others who subscribe to our approach towards Jammu and Kashmir, especially after 5th August 2019. Under those circumstances, we are going to form the government. We are very sure regarding that.
Okay, but Nirmal Singh ji, the question here is, what do you think is the BJP's best case scenario? Because as per these exit polls, most exit polls are suggesting that you would be below 30. And is the party expecting to make any effort at government formation or jod tod or some kind of calculation only and only if they emerge as the single largest party?
We shall be the single largest party, and we'll definitely touch 35, even we can cross there. Because in Jammu province, there are 33 seats, and we are going to win most of them, barring few. Even in Rajouri Ponch, which is the Muslim majority, same is the case with the Respite Doda, we are going to win a good number of seats there also. So far as Kathua, Samba, Udhampur, Riyasi, these are the areas where we are going to win 100% seats.
Okay.
And we'll definitely have some seats, and we are hoping some seats in Kashmir also.
Dr. Singh, may I ask you, sir?
Looking at the
may I just understand, taking these numbers, because that's the only data set we have today, on October 8th, they may hold, they may not hold, and we'll have a different conversation at that point of time. But just taking in aspect these numbers, does this mean that the Bharatiya Janata Party, of course, would be happy with the performance in the Jammu region, but despite the abrogation of Article 370 and what the BJP says has been done to completely change the picture of Kashmir, BJP is still very, very far to be a significant player as far as the Kashmir Valley is concerned, sir?
So far as the elections are concerned, there may be some, we may have some minor role during these elections. People won't have voted for us as per our expectations, but definitely people of Kashmir, they are looking towards us, they are listening to us, and they are having hope in us, because though they said they feel that considering the situation in Jammu and Kashmir during the last 30 years, about 50,000 dead bodies were there, and the Kashmiri young people, they were going their terrorist way, and now the mothers of Kashmir, they are not losing their young sons, and there is peace and order. People, they feel that if we have to bring the Jammu and Kashmir out of this chaos which was there.
But Dr. Singh, just coming to the prediction given by the exit polls, Dr. Singh, just coming to the prediction given by the exit polls, do you think that the candidate selection by the BJP would have been better?
Actually, it was better. That's why we are hopeful of you can say winning majority of the seats. And we are claiming that we are going to form the government. It was because of the selection of the candidates.
No, but senior leaders like you yourself, you were not given the tickets. Some other senior leaders were also denied tickets by the party.
I never said that.
And it led to revolt in many seats.
You have seen that we didn't say anything. Some of the people that did definitely did something, but most of the 95% cases, it was all right. Some of the people, they have expressed their you can say anger, but ultimately whole the party was one, and that's why we are going to win this election.
Neerja Chaudhary se bhi hai, because she has just returned from the valley, so she has some assessment of your battle there.
No, Dr. Singh, I would like to ask you, there are 5 nominations that the LG does to the Assembly, which will take the tally up to 95. Earlier it was said that these 5 would have voting rights. Now some confusion seems to have crept up. Will these nominated MLAs have voting rights or not?
I think that's there in the Reorganization Act.
So they will. What you're saying is they will have voting rights.
They definitely. They will have voting rights. And everything is explained in the Act itself.
So the majority figure goes up to 48, not 46.
So it is safe to assume, Dr. Singh, that the BJP tally starts from 5?
Pardon?
So it is safe to assume that the BJP's tally starts from 5?
I don't know.
All right.
It's there in the Act. And let LG Sahab and those who will decide, they have to decide it.
This will be very,
because
very interesting.
Everything shall be within the parameters of the Constitution.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for speaking to us. This is going to be possibly one of the most fascinating factor come October 8th, when the numbers do in fact come, the real numbers, the exact poll comes out on October 8th when the results come in. These, as Akhilesh was saying, if it is +5, then there will be a lot of sleepless nights on the lower end of most of these polls for the Congress and the NC. It will be an interesting election.
And sleepless nights for reporters also, as we continue to dial our sources for information. But as is the tradition on NDTV and the shows, the last word to the woman on the panel. How are you looking at the numbers?
I think that these numbers look a little more accurate than in the Lok Sabha election, the exit polls.
So I think the real test is for the pollsters.
For those of us who
Thank you so much to all our guests for joining us. We're completely out of time. It's time to say goodbye from me and Maria. Thank you so much for tuning into NDTV. Stay tuned. News and updates continue.